Hello everyone, this is the Shadowed 11, and this is my audio commentary for my official fan film, Bionicle, Dreams of Madness. I've been wanting to do this commentary for quite some time, and with Letterboxd, because people suggested it to me, and I really feel like it does change the whole aspect and the feel of the film itself. This film takes place in the official Bionicle storyline, Generation 1. It takes place just before... let's see, I think just before the Bionicle book Downfall, and just after Inferno. After the Paraka were exposed to the pit mutagen in the volcano when they're searching for the Mask of Life, they mutated into sea snakes, probably long after they entered the cord which led down to Mari Nui. This film brought back some of my favorite friends to work with. I got Kyler Nuva and Gab, and I got some new other ones like Trimondius to voice some of the other characters. One thing I wasn't quite so sure about when I was working on this is what kind of voice to go with Zaktan, because Zaktan is the main narrator besides the other Paraka, and he needed to have a voice that fit, and it appeared as I did the right choice because a lot of people told me that the voice was perfect for Zaktan. I went with the classic voice, the voice that I did with Zaktan for Fantoka and Makuta. But in the end, I honestly had to go ask Kyler Nuva 135 if I should go with a new voice entirely or the classic voice, and Kyler told me to go with the classic voice. So I did kind of the same Zaktan voice in Fantoka, but less campy, little more guttural, little more scary, and in the end, I feel like it really worked out perfectly. Besides the original footage that I shoot for this film, I also used predominantly the Bionicle Initiations comic storyline for Zaktan's flashback sequences, which is in his mind, his dreams of madness. And speaking of the title of this film, the original title when I was writing the script was actually called Dark on the Mind. Unfortunately, it reminded me too much of Dark on the Moon, and unfortunately Transformers, because I hate the Transformers franchise. I decided to rename it Dreams of Madness based on Greg Farstay's old serial names, and I thought it really fit in the end. But somehow, in Dark on the Mind still feels like a good title to me. I might use that in the future. And another thing you might notice if you were listening during the Vizon flashback in Zaktan's mind is that you can hear a little bit of the Vizon laughter. It was actually pretty nostalgic doing that again. Another thing I want to do for this film is include as many old classic Bionicle references as I possibly can. For example, a lot of the music in this film is actually from the Mananui Online adventure game, and a lot of the sound effects as well. And then there's also music from the Bionicle Heroes game. And I really have to give a shout out to those composers who created those music scores because it's just brilliant. And it really brings the nostalgia for everything that's happening within this film. The biggest part I wanted to address about this entire fan film is the fact that it was created in just 3 days. From script to uploading it to YouTube, all in 3 days. The script took me a few hours to create at work. Literally, the idea popped in my head when I was working at my theater, and then I literally just worked at my job and wrote the entire script at work on my phone, and then I went to record it, and then I shot some footage for it, and then I shot some live action footage and images, and then I had to get some video footage and underground footage and Rocky Formation footage, and all of that kind of faded together to... It just took an incredible amount of work. I had a deadline to upload it on my 9th anniversary, and I did not succeed. I uploaded it the day after, as you guys all know. But it still kind of proves how important a deadline is to a film. One of the things I realized when I was making this film is that there's no really good pictures of the cord in the Bionicle storyline. So I had to go through and look through references to the comics, and then I just had to go online and look at tons of Rocky Formation underground caverns. And then in the end I found a massive Russian cavern that was underwater, and it was literally perfect. And pretty much all the images that you see are of this Russian underground cavern. And it's really incredible. And then after that, I had to add some water effects that I've had to create myself from iMovie. And then it really and then faded it all together. And once that was all done, I had an underground cavern with a Paraka floating. Speaking of the Paraka, all of their shots are on green screen, which is how you can tell that they're actually there in the shot, because there's no other way to actually have these guys underwater unless I wanted to ruin them. Although that's already happened, because for this film, I did not cut off their arms in post. I cut off the arms of the actual Paraka spines. So as you can see here, their arm spines are gone because I cut them off. I can always glue them back together, but For this fan film, I went all out and I cut off the arms because I wanted to make this as authentic and real to the Bionicle storyline as possible. Unfortunately, it also has a bit of backlash because Hackend's arms need to be on him when he finally appears in Random SNX. Another thing I gotta mention is the Zyglak. The Zyglak appear in this film in a short little cameo because they are mentioned to be killed by the Paraka in Downfall. Another really difficult challenge of bringing the Paraka to life was giving them moving mouths, something I've never done before, and it's really a big test with this film to maybe do it in the future, but I think it really worked out successfully because then I can actually have the Paraka really emoting instead of just having a white mouth talking, and it really brings this film more life than previous films or other fan films have done in the past. And I really should add to congratulate my fellow voice actors / friends who did the voices of the Paraka. I gotta thank Kylie Newver 135, DarkKingErava, ATROX, Gap2671, and Trimondius, and myself, even though I voice act again. Those guys are really good voice actors, and they're really good people to work with. I immediately go ask them to do whatever you guys want, because they're great people. So I believe that wraps up my commentary for Bionicle Dreams of Madness. I really loved making this film to go back to the classic storyline that we all know and love, and create a new story that's not seen before, and really explore these characters just a little bit more. The Paraka especially are some of the best characters the Bionicle storyline of Generation 1 ever created. They're the first characters that ever got real personalities, and we also got some of the scariest storylines that year. And I have to thank everybody for watching it. I really loved the reaction that people really love this film. And it's probably going to be one of my favorite films I'm ever going to do until another one comes along that I might make. And I hope to use this for future reference for other future projects, maybe for getting jobs. But in the end, this is just one of those things that I had to do because I wanted to do it, and because I knew Bionicle fans would really enjoy it. In the end, that's all I have to say, guys. I hope you enjoyed my commentary for Bionicle Dreams of Madness. And comment what you guys enjoyed about this film and what would you guys want me to do next. In the end, this is the Shadow on One signing off. Have a good day.